This is WZOB Fort Payne, 100.9 FM and 1250 AM.
It is Thursday. It is 11 o'clock, and you know what that means? That means it is time for Lunch with Bryan and Steve. You are listening to 1250 AM, 100.9 FM, WZOB, 100.9 The Z. We are live in studio today for we are Sweet 16 today, episode 16 of Lunch with Bryan and Steve. You can also catch us on WZOBradio.com. If you'll just click that Listen Live button. If you got your computer up, you can also watch us live on Facebook, a live stream on Facebook. Hey, everybody in Facebook world. Wave to everybody, Steve. We're glad that you've joined us for Lunch with Bryan and Steve. We also Miss Holly. Miss Holly, say hey to everybody.
Hey to everybody.
Hey to everybody. She will also archive the show on YouTube. And just recently, we've also got some reels, some little short clips up on YouTube.
Yep.
So those are really exciting. And
got Eric to thank for that. I want to give a shout out to our new employee, Eric Hernandez.
Working for us behind the scenes. Thank you very much, Eric, for those. It seems to be getting us some traction. Happy Juneteenth. It's June 19th. Happy Juneteenth. A lot of city employees off work today and other employees off work today. So I'm glad that you are joining us live with Lunch with Bryan and Steve. Welcome in today's show. Let me welcome in my co-host Steve Chambers. Steve, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Doing well. Still holding down the trophy of Stevie's Wonders over here in the corner.
Well, it threw me off. It's 11 o'clock and we're actually on there.
Apologies to Chris Elmore from last week for all the technical difficulties.
We'll have him back.
We'll have him back, especially as we get closer to football season. But it was still a great interview. I mean, he had some really, really good, some good content in there. For us last week, and so we enjoyed having him. Today's guest is going to be none other than the Reverend John. Do you call him Reverend? Reverend John Mathieu?
I just call him Jean-Pierre
Mathieu. Yeah. Or as Steve says, John Mathieu.
I don't know. I just John.
He's Walter's
just John.
brother.
It's Walter's brother. So
Mathieu.
John will be here at the bottom of the hour for our time with him. We usually go an hour with our guest. So John Mathieu will be here. Local, I guess you call him almost local celebrity. He does a lot of different things.
Is he celebrity?
Well, he does a lot of things. He wears a lot of hats.
He's out and about. Yes, he
is. He
is
involved in town, very involved in the Rotary Club. He does, if you've gone to a Fort Payne graduation recently, I guess he's still doing that.
I believe he is.
He reads the names off as the graduates cross the stage. He also does
harder than it used to be.
I know it. I've got a question about that too when he gets here.
He loves names though. That's his specialty.
Okay, well, it's not. Well, I guess when you have a last name like Matthew spelled that way.
Mathieu.
So
he's the official prayer at the Alabama alumni banquet.
That's true. He does that. He also does a little bit of work with the radio station as far as calling baseball games. Does he call anything else? He's been on with basketball, but he doesn't call the game.
Yeah,
he does color for
we tried to
basketball.
do color with him, but it's difficult. That game is so fast.
It is so quick.
Your brain and your mouth have to move 90 to
So
nothing.
you're saying his brain's not up to it?
No, I don't think hardly anybody's brain is up to that. I think Chris is just gifted.
He's very gifted at that.
Yeah,
he does a great job with that.
But John does a great job with color, and we love having him.
Yeah. Anyway, we are so thankful that you guys are watching and listening to us. If you will, Miss Holly has got some of the Facebook feed up. Would somebody just give us an okay and all clear that we are live and everything's running, that you're seeing us and everything like that? We just want to double check.
One of the 6 people that are on, please.
We would love to just have information that everything's going well, and we'd love for you guys to post. We were talking off air before the show started, Holly and I, and we will catch some glimpses of people. Will say, "Yeah, I caught your show. I listened to your show. I watch your show. This and that and the other." But I don't get a whole lot of feedback from it. So we would love to have feedback. We want to make sure that what we're doing is serving our community. That's kind of the whole point of Fort Payne, DeKalb County. We got a lot of stuff going on. We've got some very starting to become a little bit heated of some municipal elections, not just here, but in the county as well. And we want to be involved in that. We want to be in the center of that. We're not looking to be controversial. We want what's best for Fort Payne. We're all 3 native Fort Paynians, and are
all
looking.
5. All
is everybody
6?
in the studio?
Native. Cindy's native. Tim's native.
Okay. Yeah.
I take it Eric's native.
Okay.
I mean, he's only 18.
So we are really wanting to serve the community with this show. We are looking to gather and gain sponsorships. We want this thing to be a long-term platform for this community to express itself and to share anything. Has anybody showed up on there, Miss Holly?
Sorry. I'm preoccupied with something right now. I will look.
Okay.
She's reading a book right now.
Last week, Miss Holly, we talked about our sanctification process, and the Lord said, well, we're going to do a little test here, Miss Holly, to see how far along the line your sanctification is occurring.
Yeah, it's not
and
very
far. I thought you did well.
Not very far.
I thought you did well. You've been way worse with far less conditions than last week.
Thanks.
The Southside game last year.
That's true.
You know, if you can see growth, then that's encouraging. Because the people
last week
around
was the worst
you,
case scenario.
Yeah, last case was.
It was bad.
It was awful.
Couldn't get on the air, but we did make it. So, a couple of things that are coming up on the W. Zelda Obutrum radio station is that this Saturday, that's going to be June the 21st. This Saturday, for the first time.
First full day of summer.
Is it the first full? Okay.
I think it is.
What do you call that? Is summer? It's not summer equinox.
Solstice.
Those are fall solstice. Okay, summer solstice this Saturday, which for anybody in and about DeKalb County knows is third Saturday for Fort Payne. For the first time, breaking news today: Lunch with Bryan and Steve is going to be live from third Saturday, this Saturday, June 21st, roughly 5-ish o'clock. Down at the Chamber of Commerce office down on Main Street. Main Street and what is that, second? Is that second or third?
Second.
Maybe Second Avenue?
Gulf Avenue and 2nd Street.
2nd Street. Okay. We will be live this Saturday with Lunch with Bryan and Steve in remote.
Yeah, we missed the parade, so we'll do the first Saturday drive-in.
And let me tell you something. If you think having everything at a home base could potentially be a disaster, you should come watch the dumpster fire of Lunch with Bryan and Steve live remote.
We're preparing for the 4th of July breakfast in Henniger.
There will be fireworks.
Yeah.
So, and also we've got another live episode. What's going on? Are you okay?
I know. I'm seeming like I'm wigging out over here.
It's nothing live on the air, right?
I hope not. If y'all let me know if you're hearing a buzz. I have a buzz in my ear, and I don't like it.
I think she does have a buzz.
I do have a buzz in my ear.
We could take care of that buzz with another kind of buzz to help out.
Yeah.
So anyway, this Saturday, Lunch with Bryan and Steve will be a remote at third Saturday. Come by and see us. We'll be set up at a table. Will we have a table? I don't even know what we're going to set up.
Yeah, we'll have a table. I'll be behind the table, and you guys can be out front.
Okay, we will be broadcasting.
TV tray and a metal chair.
No, we'll be outside.
We go
the
first
chamber.
class, or we don't go.
That's
at all.
right. It will be a little bit low budget.
Yeah.
Cindy's trying to get your attention in there.
Is she? Okay.
Are we live, Cindy? Is everything working in there?
What?
There is a buzz.
Okay, I'm looking for it,
We're
Tim.
trying to find the buzz.
So, always good to have, people out there on the ground.
Okay,
letting me know.
We'll see how bad the buzz is. I'm not getting a text from my wife, which usually I'm getting one of those. Is your wife updating anything?
Anyway, y'all keep going.
Anyway,
okay.
So we thought
we'll fix it.
We thought we were live, but
we are live. We're just
so
buzzing.
also coming up another live Lunch with Bryan and Steve will be the breakfast at Henniger City Park, sponsored by Nathaniel Ledbetter and Steve Livingston. That's going to be July 4th. We're actually debating whether or not to do that live or to record it and then play it the next week as the Lunch with Bryan and Steve episode for the 10th. Because programming note, we will not be live on July the 10th. We will have some form of an episode, but we don't know what that's going to be. But we won't be live.
Just to let you know.
Just FYI, but that's a couple weeks away. We still got a couple episodes. Anyway, so that's what we got going on. Just kind of setting the show up on the old WZOB 100.9, the Z. I need to give credit to who said that, but I'm not going to say it on the air right now. And so
we like it though.
It's fun.
It is fun.
It's kitschy. It's got a little ring to it. So anyway, it is June the 19th. Which supposedly was the date that the last slaves in Texas found out about the Emancipation Proclamation, 2 years after.
In Galveston, Texas.
Galveston,
I guess
Texas.
their owners didn't want them to know about it.
Certification? Do we have certification that that's exactly?
Do I have certification?
That was the date, or we just
this day in history? it goes into detail about.
Oh, does it? Are we going to do that later?
We can do that later.
Okay. All right. Well, good deal.
If you want to.
We're trying to find out what's going on. Miss Holly's working on the buzz. If you hear the buzz, we are aware of it, and we're working on it. Holly, she's got something for you right here behind you. So we'll see what's going on. We knew it was too good to be true.
Your show has been terminated.
They've come and pulled the plug. So.
Okay, not my fault. Not my doing. Not my stuff.
Oh, really?
Okay.
So we're okay?
Well, the professional, it says yes. So Tim's on it, so hopefully it'll get fixed.
Okay. Is that just a radio thing, or is that a Facebook thing, too?
Is it a Facebook thing, too, Cindy? It's a Facebook thing. Man, I hate buzzing.
Okay.
Anyway.
What do we got on our live feed? Anybody giving us any information there?
You don't have us on our live feed, Brian. Where are we?
Well, you've got to go over to the three finger scroll, and then you go over and.
Yeah. Oh, there it is.
There we go.
Is that it?
So anyway, we're glad that you guys are with us on this June the 19th, 2025 episode of Lunch with Bryan and Steve. We are Sweet 16. Can you believe that, Steve?
No.
16 episodes.
Oh, I lost that battle a long time ago.
But I think we've been having a good time.
Well, we definitely.
At least we're having a good time.
That's right. We don't know if anybody's seeing us have a good time, but we are definitely having a good time in studio. So we're excited to have John Mathieu a little bit later on. So.
Oh. Yeah, we might have a surprise guest, too, that I didn't even tell you. Well, yeah, but I didn't tell you about it.
This is different one than the one we talked about?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, cool. I think I like surprise guests.
Well, you'll like this one.
Okay.
And
we do have a confirmed surprise guest at 12:30 with a special announcement, which will be live at 12:30, which will be after John's interview. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. I'm interested to see what you're talking about. Next segment, we'll have our Thrive. What's it?
Is it the third mayoral candidate? That's.
Ooh, I wonder. We're hearing some rumors that there may be an additional mayoral candidate other than Brian Bain and Pete Davis. So,
is it Holly?
No.
Holly, you got a surprise announcement?
Listen, y'all don't want me in that mess. I don't want me in that mess. I want people to like me too much.
That's right. In our next segment, we'll have Chris Dura with Thrive Outdoor for the Thrive Outdoor Garden Tip of the Week. So hopefully everything will work technology-wise to get him on.
Well, it's working. It's just not as professional sounding as we would prefer.
Well,
but
neither are we.
There's a theme there.
Yeah, there is. We just can't have it right. Do we have any more city council candidates? I think we're clear on all of them, at least right now. Now, not all of them have registered. And the last date for registration is the 24th, right?
Yeah, so was that next Tuesday?
Yeah. But I don't think we've had any other surprises than what we have. So currently, on the current city council that's running again, Walter Watson, John Smith, and Lynn Brewer, who announced on Lunch with Bryan and Steve that she's running again this time. Chad Williamson, Todd Simpson, Bo Gentleland, Clint Beeson, Scotty Vaughn, Jeff Young, Mike Grant, Richard Camp, Heather Wooten, Pete Little, and Leslie Vaughn are all candidates for the city council. Now, I looked in the paper, and not all of those had registered. Well, this was 2 days ago, so we'll see what happens after that.
I think it's now Chad Williamson. He's a Dr. Chad Williamson, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But he doesn't put doctor on his signs. He must be a humble guy.
Probably so. So we're excited to have you guys again here with Lunch with Bryan and Steve. Is it time for our first commercial break?
It is. Let's go on to commercial.
Let's go on commercial break. We'll be right back with Chris Dura and Thrive Outdoor for the Thrive Outdoor Garden Tip of the Week when we come back on Lunch with Bryan and Steve.
Stop treating your home like a storage bin. Make room for living with Wilson Storage. No matter the need or budget, Wilson Storage has the solution for you. They have gated standard units and climate control units. They have security cameras, alarms on every door, and 24-hour access. You can even rent or pay your bill online. Just go to wilsonstorage.com or call 256-845-1530. Wilson Storage is family owned and been serving our community since 1988. Wilson Storage in Fort Payne.
This is Judge Andrew Hairston, and you're listening to Lunch with Bryan and Steve on WZOB.
Hello, this is Mike Shirey with the Fort Payne Improvement Authority. Spring is an exciting time of warmer weather and new growth, but it's also a dangerous time. We all remember the tragic storms of April 2011 and lives lost and the scars that remain. We're reminded of the season and how the storms can impact our lives. We would like to take this opportunity to encourage everyone to stay safe and have a safety plan when the storms come. Always remember to stay away from any downed power lines or anything contacting those lines. Never try to move a power line, and do not drive over a downed power line. If your vehicle is in contact with a power line, stay in the vehicle until help arrives. Stay alert and stay safe from your friends at Fort Payne Improvement Authority.
We're back. Lunch with Bryan and Steve, live WZOB, 100.9 FM, 1250 AM. Hope you guys are joining us. We love having all of our listeners join us. We are live now. Why do you keep giving weird looks, Holly? My gracious. All right. The buzz is still there? Okay. So we're live with Lunch with Bryan and Steve. We have got on the phone Chris Durr with Thrive Outdoor Garden Tip of the Week. Chris, how's it going, my man?
Man, it's good. Just trying to dodge the rain today.
Good gracious. I'm going to tell you, one thing you are not hearing out and about as you go about town is, boy, we've needed this rain. I think that comment is gone. So
It's definitely now. We wish the rain would stop so we could get some work done.
Oh, I bet. So what are your guys doing? Are they trying to maintenance vehicles and equipment? Is that kind of what you guys do when there's no ability to get out and do?
Yeah, they'll usually do that. They'll do the maintenance, to sharpen the blades, like you said, grease the machines, check all the fluids and stuff, and the supervisor guys will probably go out and drive around the properties, make sure they look good, because you can't really put mowers and things on wet, soggy ground.
No, that'll get you some other invoices that you don't really want.
That's correct.
What's the determination factor on? How do you know when you can go out, and what determines whether or not you're able to cut? Is it per the lawn, or how do you make that decision?
No, it's really it's honestly, if it's raining you don't really work in physical rain, but if it stops and unless the area you can see is saturated with water and you're going to track it up with big tires, you really will cut wet grass. It makes it a little rough, makes it a little harder to keep it clean because those mowers mulch instead of disperse the lawn clippings. So they get those grass balls as it builds up and kind of just balls out of the deck, and then you got to go back and try to rake that out or blow it around so it doesn't look like a bunch of mounded up grass in the yard.
Okay, yeah. Well, I tell you, it's concrete guys, roofers, and lawn care. What else is there that's out there that can't do anything right now?
It's funny he's talking about the mulch. I had to change my blades so it would disperse or get some sheep and goats. I can't get the yard mowed.
You can rent goats, I think.
Well, I may have to.
That you can
We got a pool party Saturday for Peyton's birthday, and
you're gonna have hay up in the field.
Yeah, I don't want to be embarrassed how bad the yard looks.
Well, I think it's supposed to clear up soon.
Yeah.
Steve, you can rent the goats to eat your grass and have a petting zoo at the same time.
That's true.
Yeah, there you go.
You just move the stake around.
That would be so efficient with my money.
There's a business right there, just renting goats out. So, well, Chris, what is our garden tip of the week from Thrive Outdoor?
Garden tip of the week, if you guys are starting to pay attention to the plants outside, the crepe myrtles are starting to bloom, and with that comes the pesky Japanese beetle.
Ah, is that what we call a June bug?
No, that's different.
That's different?
It's different.
Okay.
Yeah, June bugs are bigger.
Dots on them. They're Japanese.
Yeah, and Japanese beetles are a big pain in the rear. So what you need to know is you can spray for those. If you've got big crepe myrtles and you're like you can't really spray, but you can spray different things on them. I'm about to throw out some terms and products. So
okay,
pay attention.
You want me to write this down?
Pay attention. You might want to write this down.
Okay.
What you want to use is you want to find products that have. I wrote this down so I could pronounce it right. Imidacloprid.
Good gosh almighty.
Don't ask about that. It's imidacloprid. That is a good systemic chemical. That what systemic means, when you spray it on the plant absorbs it. When the insects come and eat the plant, they die.
Okay.
So it's not a contact where you spray it on them and they die. This works through the plant, so you don't have to wait till you see it. But if you do see damage, you can go ahead, like the beetles and things will chew on leaves. When you see that, spray this chemical on there and it will absorb through the plants. You want to spray early in the morning or late in the evening, because you don't want it to evaporate in the heat of the day. You want to kind of get it in the morning and a lot of that is due to sometimes, because that will work through blooms, and it's hazardous for your bees. And bees tend to be working and doing their thing in the middle of the day or later in the day. So you want to do that in the morning or in the evening when the bees are resting, and let that work through there. That way they're not getting anything from that chemical.
Okay. So is there a brand name for that, or is there different? Does everybody?
Yeah, there is. The commercial brand name, like you can buy this. Like I saw it earlier before I came on. Things that like commercial companies use. A brand name is Dominion.
Okay.
That works very, very, very well. Dominion. You can also go over to Walmart if you don't want to wait on something. Walmart will have neem oil, which is a different product, but it still works the same. Or Bayer Advanced Garden Insect Killer. That all has it in there. You can buy those products and spray. Mix it up according to the label. I guess wear some gloves if it's not going to hurt you unless you like drink the product. But if you want to wear gloves and stuff, that's fine.
Well, that's just natural selection if you do that.
That's true.
That is very true. But you don't want to spray on a windy day. You put that wand up in there to spray, you're just going to blow it everywhere. But you want to make sure you apply it. If you got those big crepe myrtles, which a lot of us do. I have a young one. I noticed mine yesterday. The reason I brought this up, I have just had it in the ground a year, and I looked up because I'm watching the blooms, and here I see Japanese beetles starting to eat my blooms. I was really hacked off.
Now, aren't some of those crepe myrtles, the leaves and the blooms are higher than you could reach, aren't they? Can you still?
They are.
They're like trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When you get those big ones, like they're mature, there's really nothing you can do. The only way you can treat Japanese beetles I'm glad you said that, when they're too big, is you've probably seen these, they make trap bags. Like it's a bag.
Yeah.
You kind of put off to the side. It will attract the Japanese beetles to that bag and they'll kill them. The problem with it is it attracts Japanese beetles. So guess what? More of them come in. Just kind of put them away from where you want it. I mean, right up next to where you don't want them, and let them go there as opposed to near the plants.
Mm-hmm. Is that something that the Japanese beetle will have years where there's more of them than others, or is it just every year it's always going to be a problem? And is that a problem this year, in particular?
Yeah, you're exactly right with what you're saying, and the reason that is because all beetles start off as grubs in the ground. So you may have a higher grub population in the ground, which you're leading me into the other treatment is in the spring. You treat your ground for the grubs. They're in the ground. So if you can put, there's several chemicals that you can put in your fertilizers on your ground. You kill the grubs before they even develop into the beetle.
Okay.
Go ahead,
I had a question. Just because we had an experience last night with a beetle in the house, like we woke up in the middle of the night and we heard a thumping, Jamie, get up. Go see what that is. I'm not getting up. You get up. Go. You're the man.
Did he get his pistol out?
No, he didn't get his pistol out this time. He didn't get his pistol out, but we looked around. Anyway, I kicked something with my toe, and it was this. Is that a Japanese beetle that I kicked with my toe inside the house?
I don't think it's as big as what you're.
It's about. I mean, I don't know. It was big. I think, pick that thing up and take it outside.
They may be on steroids.
Yeah.
So, are you saying that? Go ahead.
A Japanese beetle, Miss Holly, is going to be about half the size of a penny. It's going to be green with bronze wings on the top.
Okay, this was bigger than a penny. This was like bigger than a quarter. It was big. It was so big.
No,
I didn't want.
That's a bigger one.
That's a boll weevil. That's a boll weevil.
He actually took his shoe and was going to squish it, and it didn't squish.
Oh wow!
So
wow.
Yeah. So I don't know what that.
That's like
I
a
take that as
superhero.
a challenge.
You let it bite you and see if you turn into a superhero.
Well, I tell you what was the fun. This is the weirdest thing. What I thought was fun, and I had heard about it all. The whole my whole time at Auburn was when I was at Auburn studying horticulture. You have a insect class, and I actually enjoyed it. And then what was cool was how you collect insects, because we had to collect a whole bunch of them. To collect those beetles, like Miss Holly's talking about, those big ones. There's actually one called a rhinoceros beetle. It's a big black one that has a nose like a rhinoceros.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's what it was.
Could have been.
You get one of those old tin coffee cups. You bury it soil level in your yard, and any beetles you got in your yard walk across that, fall in, and not get out, and that's how you trap them.
Ah,
Okay.
interesting.
I just didn't know how that thing got in our house.
You
in
should
the
set
middle
a
of the
trap and
night.
bring it in for.
Well, I just had him kick
Well,
it out. He just.
I'm sure somebody opened the door, Miss Holly.
Well, we didn't notice it fly. It didn't fly
It might have been that
in.
beetle. That's so
Listen,
big.
it was big enough that if it would have flown in, we would have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay, it was big.
It's on
It was
Doppler
scary.
radar.
Anyway, okay.
Now-
Sorry, I came into
No,
the
that's
middle
good.
of that
No,
conversation. I heard beetle, and I thought,
Yeah, you saw a beetle.
I
That's right.
did. We've had experience.
Steve saw the Beatles when they were on the Ed Sullivan Show.
I did. They weren't as annoying.
Well, what else is going on? Have you recovered from your beach trip? I guess it's 2 weeks out now.